Good evening, voters. When it comes to alleged Aadhaar data leaks and the security there, one can hope that the government is being honest about fixing any issues which are there and protecting our personal data. When it comes to personal data leaks or theft or just storage and sharing via Google and Facebook, well, there is very little hope there. It seems like a lost battle with more and more details coming out of what kind of information these people have access to. But when it comes to examination paper leaks, to the questionnaire being leaked right before crucial exams for class 10th, for class 12th, for a job via SSC, for a job via the railway exam, then it is disappointing. Because these are things that should not be happening at any cost. Lakhs of futures are at stake here. And there is absolutely no excuse that our boards can give us. Technology is growing by leaps and bounds, and it looks like the world is struggling to grasp with it and to move on with alongside. If our educational boards cannot ensure a safe system, then what authority do they have to put our students to any test when they themselves are failing the security test? Today, the CBSE came out and announced that they will reschedule the examination. Class 10 students for maths exam and class 12 students for the economic exam will have to take that test again. Through this season, there have been controversies from the accounts paper to the political science paper and several other subjects. And every time CBSE has turned around and said, no way, no chance, this cannot happen. And we have zero explanation from the board tonight. India is angry, young India is furious, and their parents are disappointed. Some of the reactions we got through the day.
जैसे वो घर आए, मम्मा मुझे पेपर दोबारा नहीं देना।
पेपर लिख के उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए।
नहीं, ये बच्चों को उसका भुगतना पड़ेगा, लेकिन गलती बच्चों की थोड़ी है, ये तो सिस्टम की फॉल्ट हुई है।
बच्चे साल भर से पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, उनको कितना प्रॉब्लम होगी इससे।
एक बात पूछना चाहता हूँ कि लीक हो कैसे जाता है?
जैसे एग्जामिनेशन हॉल में बैठे सब कह रहे अरे ये तो वही है। उस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम में बहुत बुरा लगा मेरे को।
अगर हम रिवेंज लेना चाहें, वो शायद टफ पेपर बना दे, तो जो बच्चा पढ़ के भी जाता है वो भी कम लाएगा, और जो बिलो एवरेज है उसका तो और भी बुरा हाल होगा।
So many more voices, and if you want to raise your voice, express your anger, your disappointment, or raise a question, then our phone lines are open. If you weren't able to get through us in the evening, for the next 1 hour, we are taking your phone calls. I have 3 very simple questions tonight, especially for the government and the CBSE board. We'll ask these questions to our panelists as well. Question number 1. Who is responsible for the exams disaster that has hit over 16 lakh students at least? We don't know the exact number of children who will have to reappear for these examinations, but suffice to say it will be above that. Question number 2. Did CBSE ignore the warnings about a compromised system, about lack of security? There were visuals that emerged of how answer sheets were allegedly being taken in a metro in New Delhi. After every second or third exam, students have come out and claimed this paper was leaked. I got the exam questionnaire a day ago on WhatsApp. It was all over the place. The CBSE kept denying it. And question number 3. Corruption. What's happening here? Let's say good evening to our guests. Representing the BJP is Mr. Anila Singh. I've got Mr. Firoz Bak Ahmed. He's an educationist joining us from our Noida studios. Manisha Priyam, senior academic and a political analyst, also with us this evening. Keshav Agarwal, he's a teacher who spoke with us earlier in the evening as well, and he claims he got a copy of that leaked paper yesterday. He complained to the CBSE about it. We've also got a student of class 10th joining us, Sanskriti Gupta. And Deepika Sharma, principal for the Delhi Public School, Ghaziabad, will also be with us in just a bit. But I want to go across to Sanskriti first and ask her. Sanskriti, I know it's a very cliched, annoying question, but it's one of those evenings where the government must know and the CBSE board must know what the students are feeling tonight.
Yeah, we all are very stressed and in a trauma to give the exam again, because we are suffering because of someone's negligence. We are suffering because we don't have the system to control these leaks. It's not our fault. Then also we would have to reappear for the exam. We were all excited that wow, exams are over. But again, it's like we were in a shock. Many students were not able to digest this news that they would have to reappear for the exam. And also the next sections will be delayed because of this. And our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, had also took pain when he addressed students before the exam to motivate them. But when he must have got this news, he would be very sad. All his efforts would have gone in vain. Our efforts, we were studying for last 5 days for a maths exam. And it's very demotivating.
Did you have more exams left, or was this your last exam?
Has the CBSE lost its credibility? And what is the guarantee that the next exam this was the last exam?
Okay. Do you like maths, Sanskriti? Are you a fan of mathematics, or does it scare you?
No, I'm not scared, not even a fan. It's fine. Yeah.
I'm just trying to understand, because for a lot of people, it's one of the toughest challenges in class 10.
Much in science than maths.
Okay. And so the horror and the idea of actually giving that paper again for again working, that hard for the last 4-5 days. You don't even know when you will give that exam again. That must be really traumatizing. What have your friends been saying? What were the conversations like through the evening after this news broke?
We were all shocked. We were like that from last 5 days, we were practicing for maths and we were exhausted. And now we were in a mood to just enjoy and all. And then such a news came. It was a trauma. Because it's not our fault. Then also we are suffering. We are being penalized. And what is the guarantee that the retest that CBSE will conduct will not get leaked?
We don't know. The government came out and said, and the HRD minister today said that we assure you it will never happen again, that we will beef up the security. But at this point of time, frankly, I am not too sure if the CBSE or the government is aware of where this leak is happening from. It might be a gang. How many are part of it? We don't know. The SSC exam leak controversy began a month ago, viewers, more than a month ago. They protested outside the office for days and days together, forcing an investigation, demanding a CBI investigation, and today we saw the first set of arrests there. It took them that long to crack that case. So frankly, for anybody to say right now that they can plug in that loophole wherever these leaks are coming from and assure the students, I don't know how they can do that. Anila Singh, that question is to you. Students want to hear from the BJP and from the government. कैसे ये सिक्योरिटी बीफ अप होके सडनली प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो सकती है?
Tanvi, no doubt about it. I can very well understand about the mindset today in which the students who have to reappear in the board examination of mathematics and economics, they are going through, and as well as the parents. You know, just giving and going through the mathematics paper, I understand very well that for many, mathematics is not a, it's not a very enjoyable subject to study. But yes, it is sad indeed the way paper got leaked, and now the students, they have to reappear in the board again. And I, being one of the parents of like 2 of my children, even they are writing the board, and again they have to rewrite economics. So as a parent, I can very well understand the plight through which the student and the parents are going through. But at the same time, the leak which happened, unfortunately, I'll say it is the, I can say that it is the part of a gang or the group of people who are indulged in it, and for them few bucks matters much more than the integrity or the nationalism. And I can say that yes, for them it doesn't matter that the real hard-working students, they should score more marks, and they just want to sell off the paper. There must be some sort of a loophole, or whatever the cause was, paper got leaked. I can't deny this fact. And the HRD, even the Prime Minister of our country, even he is upset about it. And the minister, HRD minister, he has promised that very soon those who are responsible for this leak, they will be booked, and the proper care will be taken that when the students, they are going to write these 2 board papers again, such sort of leak doesn't happen. Even there are few more papers, I suppose, in science,
yes,
probably, and a couple of humanities paper.
Yes,
students, they have to write.
But Anila Singh,
and,
since Anila Singh, this is not the first time.
Promised, and I'm hopeful for.
This is not the first time. Well, at least this is the first time CBSE has acknowledged it and changed and taken some action.
Yes,
but even in this exam season.
And
so why didn't CBSE react? Why didn't the government react? Do you remember that time where Manish Sisodia came out and claimed he got multiple complaints and there is a possibility? I don't know if any investigation was done to see whether there are loopholes. Because if there was any reaction to check if there are any loopholes, I am sure they would have found this loophole. However, this leak is happening.
CBSE is vigilant enough. That is why they discovered that yes, this leak happened. But as I told you, unfortunately, in our system, we have few people, for them money matters more than the qualitative studies. So this is the result of that, and as I told you, that HRD minister.
No, I don't think you can get the CBSE off the hook so quickly.
Proper action will be taken against
CBSE
them.
cannot be off the hook so quickly. Mr. Keshav Agarwal is with us. I believe Mr. Keshav Agarwal, I believe you got a copy of this leaked paper yesterday. Did you get it on social media as a forward? Did somebody, send it to you as a printout? What happened?
Yes. Now, I'll tell you a little bit. These leaks were happening right from the business studies paper. They did not start yesterday, first of all. First leak came to our knowledge for business study paper. CBSE denied it. That did not happen. As you said, now Manish Sisodia himself tweeted about accounts paper. WhatsApp was circulated way before, and again they denied it. Their logic was the seal of the paper was not tampered and hence no leak. Maths paper was circulated, somehow it turned out to be fake. Now, as far as I am concerned, I never got a paper before. It used to come afterwards. Economics paper on 26th started coming in handwriting. Before, the paper was as per the CBSE code, it was just the same paper which was coming. Now the person or whosoever is started writing in handwriting, so not many would believe that it can be a CBSE paper. 26th, when this was there in all the newspapers, CBSE said we are investigating it. And it's just 2 days. Yesterday I got 10th maths paper. I sent it to one of my friend who is a reporter, and she forwarded it to Mrs. Sharma, the CBSE spokesperson. The same paper. Got no response from there. Today, 1:30 when students came out and I saw the paper, I was shocked. As yesterday, I had doubts that this paper would be genuine. And when I saw the paper, to my surprise, it was the same paper, same order, same choices. Now this is first time in my 18 years I am seeing a paper leak going like this from from paper to every student, and CBSE is not aware a day before. How CBSE can be vigilant about it? Now if you see economics paper, they had put a CBSE crime investigation and it is just 2 days today. Today, how they have accepted within 2 days that there was a leak? 2 days before they were saying not a leak, because in this case we had a proof 1 day before we had sent to them. They cannot deny now. They were in the loop. Today, within 1 hour, they accepted for both the papers. And I am telling you, yesterday's biology paper I have, which is handwritten, accounts paper leaked. This needs a CBI inquiry, because not one paper, almost all the papers were leaked. And similar pattern. CBSE, there is a composition committee. It has to go inside it. The paper cannot come from outside. Someone inside is doing this. CBSE was saying that they are playing just to postpone the paper, this news. They were not vigilant. Had they been vigilant, at least today's paper they could have stopped. And now, reconducting is one part. If the same people don't get caught, then this will keep happening again. Third thing, all entrance exams are due. 8th April you will see JEE Main, and most of the science students have economics. They will study economics or they will give JEE Main. And NIT paper is coming, medical entrance. CLAT is coming in May. All commerce students are giving CLAT. BBA exam is coming. Will CBSE compensate for time? If you put them in the position, they have 2 exams on which they can focus on only one. DU admission, state board will declare result. What about CBSE?
Yeah.
Who will? There are many things which will. 11th, obviously the syllabus. Entire it will get delayed by a month or 2. Who will give extra time?
Yeah.
Now there are so many repercussions that are going to happen, and this is just because of sheer negligence. CBSE could have taken many steps and stopped this, but in my opinion, I'll say this didn't happen. And today, as you said, more than 16 lakh students of 10th, and nobody likes maths because it's a trauma, and they are given double trauma to the students. And as economics I have said, business study paper was out, accountancy was out. They need to go back and scrutinize everything.
Okay.
This is just tip of the
Let me take this across
which came and happened
to other experts, Mr. Agarwal.
Credibility and belief cannot be there.
Yeah, it can't be there. We don't know what's going to happen with the next paper on Monday. Mr. Prakash Javadekar may say security will be beefed up, but it's not like you make 5 guards stand outside a classroom and everything will be fine. That's not what is happening here. We don't even know how this is happening. Like you rightly pointed out, there is obviously multiple insiders who are involved, but Mr. Firoz Bakht Ahmed, did CBSE ignore warnings? Could we have stopped this from happening earlier?
Yes, Tanvi, first of all, let me once again congratulate your channel, that is Mirror Now, for having taken up this very serious issue. I have not seen this debate on any of the channels other than the sordid political debates and other stuff like that. You see, it's a very serious thing. The way these papers have been leaked over the days, you know, right from that commerce paper up to this today maths paper, and then apart from that biology paper, as Mr. Keshav had said, was also leaked. What the feeling that I've got is that these papers have come into the media, you know, a couple of days, but I think this process has been going on for a long time. And maybe that these papers and maybe many other papers which have already been, taken up by the students, even those were leaked, right? So you have asked me about this CBSE. It seems to me that it has become a habit with the CBSE to, be in this imbroglio of leakages of papers. A couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago, what we saw was, the case of papers of medicine, AIPMT, right? These papers were leaked all over India. So it's very sad, India has a very compact education system. People from all over the world come for cheapest and best education in India. But whatever we are seeing now, and that too under the eyes of, the CBSE and all capable people, including the HRD minister himself. So this is something which is sordid, which is shocking, which is unacceptable. So what, and the child, I heard the child saying that even if this paper is taken again, so what is the guarantee that again there is not a leakage? So this is true. These children who were planning to go for their break, they wanted to enjoy, have some gala time. Now again they have to sit for 10-15 days and work out for this paper. So this is very unfortunate. CBSE is not accountable. It is not responsible. Its credibility has almost waned out. It's just finished, and it is very sad. At least myself, being from the school sector, and as you mentioned, I am not an educationist, but I am interested in education. But I am shocked today, whatever had happened. And what I feel is that the other papers, which actually were conducted earlier, there might be, these might also have been leaked. And I have got on my mobile, I received, just a couple of minutes ago, I received 27 pages of biology and maths paper. And someone told me that even the history paper got leaked. I do not know. I am not making this statement. Don't take it as a blanket statement. But the kind of system of leakages of papers which we are witnessing over the last few weeks or days.
Which is why I say I am not surprised that we are at a point where we are tonight, where lakhs of students don't know what is going to happen over the course of next couple of months, if not more. All their plans are down the drains, whether it was to take a break or to give the next competitive exam or for the next round of admissions. But Manisha, Priyam, are you surprised? There were enough warnings, I believe, enough times that voices were raised that there are loopholes in the system, that papers are being leaked, and every time CBSE said, no, our systems are fine. We don't even know whether our personal data on Facebook and Google is fine and whether our Aadhaar data is fine. And here CBSE has been bragging about its systems being fine.
I think this is a very major lapse on the part of the CBSE. Remember, this is a board of education, but for a long time now, the government has been appointing IAS officers and government officers to lead the CBSE, because the government thinks that it is a very important system, a very important institution. So the government apparently has sent its best officers to lead the CBSE. Why? Because it thought that academics could not have led it, school principals could not have led it. So this is the government's best, and they are saying their systems are fine. What is the job of the CBSE? The CBSE is not a teaching body. The CBSE is not a curricular body. The CBSE is only a regulatory and exam enforcing body. It does not know how to do this. On top of that, when the first warning signals came with the first leak now a couple of weeks ago, look at the response of the CBSE. No, our systems are fine. So we want to today understand the first job of the CBSE should be to open source. What are its systems? Is an IAS officer competent to lead its systems? What does security mean in the new architecture? Have hacks done this leak? The CBSE, now that there is full and final information that the papers have been leaked not once but thrice over, must come completely clean on how the leaks have happened, what are the breaches, and if these officers are not competent, then what indeed is a competent system? In the security era, where you have cyber coding, optical marker scanning, this is not a manual thing that is happening. So what were the security procedures? How high were the firewalls? Where did the leak happen? This is not just a question of saying Prime Minister is also unhappy. Just because the IAS officer manning the CBSE said systems are fine, we were supposed to accept systems are fine. Prime Minister is very unhappy. All of us are very unhappy. We want to understand precisely how the leaks have happened. Remember, the examination is a very sacrosanct system. This is a certifying system. The world over, people will take an equivalence of the exams that you take. So what have you done to your children? You told them, pay us fees for this examination. CBSE takes affiliating fees from its schools. What does it take these fees for? For precisely this job. So at many levels, contracts have been broken. But children cannot come out and talk about their rights. They will talk about inane things like, oh, we had to go for a holiday, our next exam is coming. Children don't even understand how much of their rights have in fact been abrogated in this case.
Yes.
Now, if this whole thing were to be taken in the strict legal sense, absolutely censor, you would see the principal-agent relationships. The children are at the poor receiving end. They are not capable of enforcing this. And do you expect school principals to raise their voice against the CBSE? They cannot do it. Tomorrow they are under the regulatory control of the CBSE. So what are we left at? We find the government talking about we will take over command and control systems, but hapless children and lakhs of schools are at the mercy of the CBSE.
I mean,
the
if the
body that
government
can come back and say, fine, even if we leaked the paper, our systems are fine.
If
Our
the government,
systems are
Manisha
fine. Which
Priyam,
systems
could
are fine?
actually
Can this
ensure
officer be
that
taken
not
to book?
even a single paper leaks anymore, if they could do that, then I am even more angry tonight, because why didn't you do it earlier? Why have we come to a position where so many lakh students now don't know? Imagine the plight of that 10th standard student giving a board exam, one of their biggest challenges in the life, before they actually become adults and go into the adult world. And this is what has happened with that experience.
The world.
What have we done to their
laugh at your
mindset?
school system.
Yes.
The world will laugh at
Deepika
your school
Sharma,
system.
who is responsible except for the CBSE? And who do we ask these questions to? Because the CBSE chief won't even come out and take these questions.
Well, I feel students would be very disappointed. Parents and students would be absolutely anguished. It's painful, but it's not happened for the first time. But what's happened for the first time is that they've planned to take retests. The tests have been there. Of course, it's going to impact evaluation. It's going to impact a new session. It has made the students shocked, and it's a set of minuscule people who are doing this. But then CBSE, I don't think is totally responsible. It is a set of few people who are doing this. Or for that matter, I won't hold the government responsible. It is a set of people who should be held responsible, and they should be taken to court.
What do you mean a set of people? Who are these people, Ms. Sharma? Who are these people? Are these outsiders? Are these hackers? Are these students, teachers?
CBSE is accountable, responsible.
Taken to the book, of course, and there should be investigation. But this is not the first time that we find out the papers are leaked. Every other year we find this one. This subject was leaked. The other subject was leaked. Of course, it has been happening over a period of a long time.
Whose job is it, Deepika Sharma, whose job is it to ensure the security of the question papers and then the answer sheets? Is it schools? Is it individual schools, or is it the CBSE board?
That means the CBSE is incompetent.
There are a few people who are responsible for it. It should have been rectified long back.
Mr. Feroz Bak.
But I still feel that if they do it now, well, at least for people who are children who are going to come and sit for a few exams, they're going to be in good hands.
Mr. Feroz Bak, do you agree? I don't agree at all.
No, I don't agree with her, and I realize her problem because she is a principal and she can't speak against the CBSE straight away. Now, let me tell you one thing. In this
so how can you hold the entire CBSE responsible for it?
No, CBSE is responsible. I'm sorry. You see, let me argue with you. You are the principal. If something happens in your school, whatever it is, so who is held responsible? It is the principal, right? In the same way, if this leakage of papers is taking place, so who will be responsible? The ultimate authority. So CBSE is responsible. CBSE, very unfortunately, has not learned a lesson. When AI PMT, those medical papers were leaked out some 2 years ago, and the situation is the same. So they're traveling at the same pace. They should have learnt a lesson. And these poor children who must have planned for certain things, and as rightly mentioned by Tanvi, that there are deadlines for different examinations. There are deadlines for national and international, qualifying papers and courses. Apart from that, there are 4,000 centers, some 4,000 centers all over India, and something like 100 centers abroad of CBSE. So you see what a waste of resources this will be if these papers are taken again.
Yes.
See,
going to
see,
impact
listen,
the next
so
session.
even,
Okay. Allow me this. Okay, point taken. I will come back to this. I will come back to the accountability of CBSE, which is very rightly raised by Sanskriti right in the beginning of the show. Mr. Ahmed, just allow me this, please. Sanskriti, when she began her first answer, spoke about the accountability of the CBSE. I want to bring in another student. We've got a caller, Vanshika Khanna, calling us from Kanpur, I believe. She too gave her exam class in the math paper. Vanchika, good evening. What would you like to say?
You just call us, like then put on call.
Vanchika, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, ma'am.
Go ahead, please. What do you want to say, Vanchika?
I want to voice my takeover here. Like, how do you ensure that a foolproof system that this won't happen again? 2006, you said this won't happen again. In 11, you're saying that this is not going to happen again. Now we have results in front of us, 2017. Math paper has been leaked. What do we, we went such a trauma. When we came back from school, we wanted to have a gala time. We wanted to spend some time with our families, and now we are in a shock position. And how do you ensure that this won't happen again in future? It's been 26 years of our education system. Do you have an answer to that?
Let's take that to the BJP. Anila Singh, do you have an answer to that? I'm sure your children also express similar apprehensions in the evening.
Yes, Tanvi. Yes, Tanvi. You're absolutely right. Even my children, they are very disappointed. They're very disappointed because of this paper leak, and again they have to write their boards. Definitely it is there, but I totally agree with Ms. Deepika Sharma, as she said that we cannot totally blame CBSE for it, and government as well, because you know there is a group who is operating, and for them students' qualitative studies, it doesn't matter. For them money is more important. So we, like CBSE, is going to identify, because inquiry is on, investigation is on, and I am pretty confident that very soon they will be nabbed. And unfortunately,
I don't agree with you, Anila Singh. Now, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. If somebody comes to the bank and steals some things and walks away, if you think that just by putting the onus on that one man who's standing at the door, you can get away, it doesn't work like that. The entire leadership of the bank is responsible, because they could not ensure the security of the bank and what was being stored there. Similarly, when it comes to CBSE, those who are making the decisions, those who are responsible for the security, those who have access to these question papers have to be accountable.
Because she can't speak against the party, she can't speak against this system.
I agree with you.
No, she doesn't have to speak against a party at all, Mr. Ahmed. That's the whole point.
And
the BJP doesn't need to defend CBSE tonight. The BJP needs to come out. Anila Singh, 1 minute. You don't have to defend the CBSE. You don't have to defend the government. You have to come out and tell us what is the government going to do about it. Where is Anita Karwal? Where is the CBSE chairperson? Lakhs of students are sitting and watching television, and you're having to defend and give those answers because the CBSE chairperson is not even taking these questions. The HRD minister is giving a press briefing, but he doesn't even have the CBSE representative sitting with him. Why? It just makes us believe CBSE chairperson is not held accountable and is not serious about it.
CBSE has made a mockery of all these all India and international exams. They conduct around 25 to 30 exams.
CBSE is very much serious about everything. And when I talk about NDA government, for us, and if we talk about the Prime Minister of this country, we all know that how serious he is about the education system, and how emotional he is about the children who are writing their board examination.
Well, then you all, your party leaders.
But at the same time, as I told you, Tanvi, that whole of the system is not rotten. But yes, few people are there in the system, and they're trying to sabotage it, and they're trying to bring a bad name to the CBSE, and at the same time And the same
well then,
time, we just
Anila
want to earn few
Anila
bucks.
saying,
Please
the
don't depend on the
HRD
Prime
ministry,
Minister.
one minute. The HRD ministry,
I'm sorry
the
that,
CBSE
that the
board,
students
the
have to
CBSE
write the
leadership
examination
at
again.
your sorry is not going to help anybody. It's not going to help your children. It's not going to help the other students.
CBSE,
It's not going to help
HRD
Vanshika. It's not going to help
which is
Sanskriti.
held
They don't give a
What do you
penny
expect-
for your
what do you
apology.
expect from me? What do you expect from me, Tanvi? I am telling you.
Here is what I am going to
am
tell
telling
you.
you what
Stop
I am
defending
telling you
the
the view of the
indispensable
Bharatiya
here.
Janata Party government and the minister and the prime minister. I am telling you what HRD minister said. So what else do you expect from me?
Please think about your own sons who are taking
If
the
I'm
class
saying
12
that yes,
exams
I am
and you are
sorry,
not
students
honest.
have to write again. I'm not saying anything
You know,
wrong.
I genuinely believe Prime Minister felt for students and their pressure and their burden. He has come out and spoken about it, spent time with them, and he must be feeling as disappointed as the rest of the young India tonight, because the HRD ministry and the CBSE board has let him down, and young India has embarrassed him, and young India has made us furious, and I am sure Prime Minister is as furious, which is why we would expect tougher action. And not a CBSE chairperson who's gone into hiding, has not even come out and spoken a single word. Keshav Agarwal, you wanted to make a point. Yes.
Ma'am. Yeah. Ma'am, as far as responsibility is concerned, it always comes with authority. If you have authority, then you are also responsible, and you cannot delegate accountability. You have to be accountable. Today I cannot say I am in charge of this and something happens below me. I don't know. I am fully responsible. And here today it's a question of lakhs and lakhs of students. Sitting here and discussing it is very easy, but just think of the trauma the children might have gone. And again, just a re-exam, it is not going to be easy for them. Sitting and doing. This is a very serious issue. There has to be exemplary action so that such things don't happen. People cannot be lax and doing things like that. And again, getting away with the thing, leak after leak, like AIPMT leak was mentioned.
Yes.
Why didn't they learn from it? And here they had ample indications which they kept denying, paper after paper, and this paper was available like anything. It is not something secret. It was in hand of one or two. It was on a WhatsApp coming up. And what did it require? Just to match? Were they waiting only for 10:30 and then they will match? No, ma'am, this is not. Today India is progressing and education stands the top priority. It cannot be like this. This is not. At one state, a chief minister is going around to stop cheating. Now what is this? This is another form of cheating which has come. If that cheating can be stopped, then what about this? This is a open paper before you. So what is now the system happening? It is ridiculous. Let's not politicize the issue.
Yes.
Please, students are already in trauma. There are counselors. There are suicides happening. There are suicides happening. You go to Kota and see how many students committing suicide. Parents have a lot of expectation.
Okay.
And
now I
this
want to go across to
expectation we forget
Sanskriti
about
and
the
then
children.
Manisha Priyam.
Just see what these young
Sanskriti,
minds are
you've
going
heard
through.
everybody's
Please
arguments here,
understand.
especially
And
those who are
please, let's
defending
not
the
go and
CBSE
political.
right now. What would you want to say to them? Do you buy that argument?
CBSE is a very trusted body, and we don't expect this from CBSE, that putting so much, around 16 lakh students in trauma, and nobody knows how it feels. We only know that how it's feel to give a maths paper again, and how much stressed we are right now, and just discussing the issue here is not a solution. Solution is that we should have some security, which especially in this modern times, to stop all this.
Yes, Manisha Priyam,
taken against
the way this entire system works as far as conducting the exams is concerned, it's a mammoth exercise that the central board has to take up every year. But as an expert, do you think there are enough places where there are gaps and loopholes, even with the advent of technology, that it's simple for anybody who wants to play the system?
No, it's never simple to breach a system. Remember, those who breach the system, they are first of all very conversant with the system. They understand the system inside and they know how to attack it from the outside. So to a certain extent, the accountability can be fixed, must be fixed, and the name that you've taken off the CBSE chief, I'm aware and I'm sure that she's a very competent officer of the Gujarat cadre. In fact, I remember very well that she's also received a Prime Minister's Civil Service Award for one of her initiatives as an officer. But clearly, being an IAS officer or an IPS officer, whatever she may be, is not a good enough qualification, not competence enough. Why are you thinking these to be administrative type of positions? They need to be academic positions. You need to have enough academic and security experts. Certainly somewhere there is a lack in the way in which security has been understood by CBSE. So CBSE today cannot remain a system that is only imposing fees on its affiliating bodies and that is collecting fees for examinations. It needs to envision its role much better in a world which is security encoded. And at this point of time, the CBSE would do very well. Remember, these are certification mechanisms. The whole world looks at these. When you go from India to anywhere in the world, you say, I have passed this exam. So this type of certification is an internationally valid form of certification. You are being looked at from around the world. So you cannot on the one hand claim that you are a knowledge hub, and on the second side, your second hand is actually waving out papers of exams that should have been held under extreme secrecy.
Okay, let me give the last word.
PISA tests, etc.
Yes.
The CBSE needs to go international and learn from other boards on how security is being done.
Yes.
And the important thing is that the IAS officers need to make way for more competent people to lead the system.
Fair enough, fair enough. Let's see if the government takes note of that as well. Let me go across to Mr. Anil Sehgal calling us from Hyderabad. Good evening, Mr. Sehgal. What would you like to say?
Good evening, Tanvi and everybody. I think, the human nature is such that people take action when it impacts them. And whether it is the CBSE paper leak or whether it is children dying in hospitals due to apathy of the administration or any such thing in the public's, governance space. I think suppose you take the example of CBSE chairman, his DA installment that gets declared from time to time, or his annual increment, or his pay commission award, or his or her mere survival in the job, unless until that is put at stake, right, people will not take any action, in any sphere of governance, rest assured. That is the only thing I have to say.
I agree with you, but even if their job is not put at stake and they're not made accountable, maybe that person needs to think about the fact that there are over 16 lakh students today who are left in a lurch, who don't know where their next exam comes, what will they do for their competitive exams, when will the next session begin. They're probably not going to be getting any break in between. Their vacation plans have been cancelled, and all of that lies on that one group of leaders who fail to ensure basic security of the examination paper. Mr. V. Sujan is also on the phone line. Good evening. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. I want to ask only one question to the government. This is the sake of some 16 lakh students of age 15 years. Suppose if the government, after elections and winning of the government, if they say it is cancelled and they have to go for repoll, what would be the reaction of the leaders? Just think about the fate of 15 years old children of 16 lakhs. You please imagine it. What would be the fate of the students? And what would be the fate of the government if they go for re-elections?
Yes, and very soon these students will also be, 18-year-old, they will also be able to vote. And so if their careers are put on stake, are jeopardized, if their academics are jeopardized, then they're going to remember that. And they're going to make their netas accountable. We have to wrap up this show as we are running out of time. Sanskriti, if there is anything that you want to say as we wrap up this show, the last word to you, the student.
Last point. Last.
Yes, I just want to say that please understand what we are going through, and it's a question of education, which is concerned to our future. And I agree with you, ma'am, that we are going to be 18 and we are only going to vote for these leaders, and we don't expect this from them or the CBSE. And if CBSE knew, if the paper was on WhatsApp since last 2 days, and it's not possible that CBSE didn't got to know about it.
Yeah.
So it should have looked into the matter at that time only, and what it's going through us nobody can understand.
Yeah,
Please
ideally there have to be
look into the
multiple
matter
sets,
next time.
and even if the
But be
CBSE
careful
finds
for
out
the next time.
18 to 24 hours in advance and a paper has leaked, there has to be a backup set that can be used. Mr. Agarwal, I'm sorry, I know you wanted to make a point, but I'm completely out of time. I'm sure this conversation is going to come up again, and we'll have you on the debate again. Tonight, lakhs of students can only hope that the government and the CBSE comes out with a lot more clarity very quickly about when is the re-examination going to be, and what kind of impact will that have on their competitive exams, on the next round of admissions, on their next round of academic session beginning. And what about the few examinations that are left? When our minister says that they will ensure it doesn't happen again and that their security will be beefed up, I do not have too much faith, simply because I don't know if CBSE knows right now where is the leak coming from repeatedly, what part of the system has been compromised. From what it looks, SSC to CBSE, it's a complete breakdown of our examination system. The government needs to wake up now and crack the whip. CBSE chairperson needs to come out now and give some answers. Thank you so much, viewers, for joining us tonight.